Alright. Welcome back to Nick Land's Comic Corner, Classic Legend Known Classics. This is episode number 2880 and double number 2774. First up we have is the final 8 issues of Power of the Atom and the first and only trade that collect issues from Vigilante Volume 1. We'll discuss that. First up, basically, a Power of the Atom. Now, mostly put, you still have Roger Stern do most of the remainder of these. I think William Messner-Loebs does a couple issues. So the opening issue, issue number 11. By the way, all the remaining issues, the artwork is done by Graham Nolan. So the first issue, so we deal with some Atomic's previous arc, and Ricky, who's, well, Ray's assistant, who also has a thing for him. Yes. They don't exec him a couple, and of course they kind of, well... But the biggest thing related to this book is that Ray and Jean Loring's new husband get into a fight. And Jean knows nothing about this at all. They just disappear, and then they start fighting each other. And oh yeah, he yells at him for stealing our man's wife while he was away. Yeah, so that's the big thing related to this issue, is the fact that you have Jean Loring having her current husband fight her ex-husband. Yep. And there even a scene where they do it to it with scissors. It's really cool. I actually kind of enjoy this, but... Yep. So, and then we have William Messner-Loebs. Now, Roger Stern does not do all the issues of the series. No, because we have William Messner-Loebs take over for a couple issues of this book, and then Roger Stern does the remainder of the series. Mm-hmm. And don't worry, Graham Nolan still does the artwork. The artwork does not change. So, the opening issue looks like some guy is in a jail cell, possibly. And they're in their tidy whities for reasons. And they look like Ray is talking to his ex-wife. And then, of course, her new husband gets jealous of the fact that she's daring to speak to her ex-husband. There's this weird weapon baton thing here. And then once again, we have Ray and Jean's new husband fighting each other. Again, 2 issues in a row, even though we kind of thought we resolved this. And then he gets tied up, freed, and of course some ants. It's like, basically, it's like, oh, it's like inspiration by Ant-Man. Kind of, yes. And they kind of, in a way, end their little feud with each other. And then moving on to issue number 13. Yeah, this is another issue by William Messner-Loebs. Then we have some fencing going in this issue. Lots of chatting, but not much. And of course, Ray does explore. It look like some bloodstream. I think it's Paul's bloodstream to bow some, just stitch up some wounds, stitch up some veins, whatever. And then we see somebody crawling inside of her mouth. And who is it? It's Ray. Yep. Then we had just by pure randomness, like, yeah, Ray in his suit, and then he's back in his costume. And, like a brawl going on. And it looks like Ray, I mean, might be back with his ex-wife, but who knows? And then the very next issue, basically, we return of Humbug. And yes, Roger Stern is back for this issue, and he's back for the remainder of the series. Yeah, issue 14, and it lasts for 4 more issues after this, and the book ends. So we have flashback to what happened prior to the events of the series, with that little 6-inch people. Pop out box. Fighting Humbug, basically a guy who likes walk around with a stitched body. And then issue 15. Okay. Yeah, also with issue number 15, I think it's Tom Payer joins the. I think it's the writing duties of this book. Yeah, so some stuff in the hospital, some more 6-inch action here. I do find it interesting Tom Payer joins the book. Yeah. And then, of course, the last few issues is all about the truth about what happened to the 6-inch people. Yep. And, well. Oh, yeah, okay, so Roger sort of left with issue. I think the remainder of the issues apparently is back for 2 issues, and they have Tom Payer basically doing this issue here. Oh, it's actually Ricky. Yeah, he's here, Ricky. And then there's like a fire going on here. Ray experiences action. Of course, save Ricky. And it's kind of found out this issue Ricky does know Ray Palmer is the Atom. Yes. Now here, you would think that you easily find out because of the hair. Yes, the fact that you see his original costume didn't have a thing where it exposed his hair. That's new. That's something new with this costume. Yes, and then next month, like for issue 17, we have Sword of the Atom. Yep. Yeah, so we kind of resolved, and of course you have this the agent who tried to recruit Ray Palmer at the start of the series. Yeah, it turns out he is actually the one who sent the Brazilian engineer team to kill those people. Yep, it is found out, and he fights them. And then he shrinks them. He smiles because he wants payback for killing those people. Yep. I think something really weird happens in this book. Yes. So, yeah, we got that and a fire, and of course he goes at people responsible for killing those people. He kind of continued. Of course apparently he struck everybody responsible for it. Yeah. I kind of wrapped this book up a nice little bow, but here's the weird thing: the story is not technically finished. Nope, because the series was canceled due to low sales, so we had the book continued over the pages of. We had the story continue over in, of all books, Suicide Squad, where all those people who were shrunk down at the end of this book were all killed. Yeah, and they killed. They killed the second Adam, the one who was posing as Ray Palmer in the Suicide Squad book. Yeah, they murdered him with a freaking nail. Yes. So it's kind of weird. They kind of wrap. You think that the book is wrapped up, but nope. The whole thing with them that's wrapped up in Suicide Squad, which that itself was wrapping up too, just by weird coincidence. Yes. Yeah. By the time they finally wrap this plot thread up, it's like, oh, let's wrap up in Suicide Squad. And the weird thing is, there's no reason for this at all. Like you would think, oh, maybe it was a special. Nope. I mean, it's no denying the series is good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, next came the Atom Special, which I reviewed already. And that sadly came out, believe it or not, 4 years later. Yes, and then they had another special, which I haven't reviewed. I'll probably do it next time. Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably do it another time, perhaps, but yeah, I'm gonna basically worry about doing the Atom Special another time because it is kind of strange in the fact that we continue the Atom stuff in specials. Yeah, so it's kind of continued 4 years later in that book, but I could have sworn basically they had it where in Suicide Squad. Yeah, the Agent Billy character who appeared in this book. Yeah, he later appeared in Suicide Squad. So they continued the story over in Suicide Squad 61-62. Which I find that to be interesting, the fact that they would basically continue the story over there. Yeah, it's like, don't know exactly the reason for it. It just, that's kind of how it is here. With this, yeah, so they continue over there. There was evil group known as the Cabal. Yeah, so I've already discussed, well, the stuff related to. Well, I've already discussed the Suicide Squad, and I've discussed the efforts and special because I believe that book was done by Ray Palmer. It was John Byrne. Yes. Oh, it was Steve Dillon. I remember this book was collected in some book. I think it was Legend of Tomorrow, The Atom. Because I remember that's where the book was. I think I remember seeing the book there. Yep, I was correct. I did do that one there. So, and I've also done Giant Size Atom. Yep. That cook was so good. Yeah, and the Giant Size Atom, that came, I think, like after All New Atom. Yep. And I think that was the conclusion to the Action Comics feature. Yeah, feature from Action Comics, which kind of weird they put that in there. Yeah, that's where it basically discussed already. So, yep. So with that, basically, I'm done with, well, this series. There is technically one more Atom book to discuss here, and that is All New Atom. But before I discuss that, at some point I should probably just do ad number 2. Because that's the only thing left to discuss for Ray. I might do it separately. Probably do it as a one thing and then just discuss what other book I'm working on. Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do there. Because, well, it's quite interesting. It's just a special. Yep. But, so I'm going to give Power of the Atom, issues 11-18, a 9 out of 10. Final thoughts on Power of the Atom. A really excellent book. Yep. Not a bad issue of the whole series. And it's a shame. This book has only had one issue of this entire series in trade, and it's issue number 6. Why? Because it was collected in DC Universe by John Byrne. That's the book it was collected in. So you can think that at least one issue of this book has been collected, but the rest of this book, nope, no trades for it. You would think a book that's really good, really it looks beautiful by Graham Nolan. He does a good job. I don't know why there's no trade in this one. Like the first Adam book, that's in trade. I think it's collected a few times, but you probably think, what about Sword of the Atom? I think that one is in trade. This one, I don't think it is. I have not seen anything for this one, sadly. Alright, so next up we have is Vigilante Volume 1 by Marv Wolfman, which collects the first 14 issues of Vigilante. Yes. Which the book itself collects the first 4. It's called Vigilante by Marv Wolfman, and this book collects the first 14 issues of the series. Yeah, it's basically the first 14 issues, along with actually, it was the first 11 issues. My mistake. I thought it was the first 14, but it also collected the second annual for the series. So, yeah, this is basically about Adrian Chase. Yeah, Adrian Chase, the vigilante who's in this book. Mm-hmm. You have Marv on the writing and Keith Pallard on the artwork. Yes, so mostly put he had the vigilante does his normal thing. He has his own vehicle here. Well, there's a motorcycle, yes, but there's also like this big vehicle that he drives. That occasionally appears in the book. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like basically his own personal headquarters. That's kind of what he has here. And also in this book, like, he's still kind of attorney with he's the whole thing of him being vigilante, like excuse me. The whole thing of him being the vigilante, unlike more comics, people know about Frank Castle being the Punisher. That's public knowledge. In this book, the only person who knows, aside from his own support group, is Rob at this point. When Cyborg does the book, that's when he finds that Adrian Chase is the vigilante. Pops up issue 6 of all issues. Yes. By the way, the second half of New Teen Titans, that's just a backed up how it's his very book. And throughout this book, he's still killing people. At some points, he will give it up, basically the costume, for posers to come in. And by the way, Adrian Chase is not the only vigilante who appears in this book. Oh no. Like at one point, well, they did debut in issue 7, the character Al. Plus, I love the art by Russ Audrew. It's a gorgeous style cover. I like the font on top they have for these covers. They have for the book, which they also did with New Teen Titans, and it is Legion of Superheroes. Not many books have this style on the cover, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, supporting characters are Arthur Hall, who was a character from Teen Titans, which of course he was a supporting character in this very book. Not very much per se for the first 11 issues, but he appeared more frequently with Paul Kupperberg for the book. Yeah. He's first appeared in the book issue 3. Yes, issue 3. There's also J.J. Davis. one of the support team, and he's around the book. Just in this book in particular, like is in the book comparison. Well, he did return for Nightwing, but mostly, but he didn't appear in this book that much. By issue 9, he is done with the book. He is done, and he doesn't see the book until like basically like, well, actually he dies. That's the reason why for it. But in this book, basically, well, in these issues, Adrian Chase fights the Electrocutioner for issues 5, 8, and 9. Yep, and he's like a basically. This is the original version of the character who had previously appeared on pages of Batman. And then, of course, they just moved over here. Now, I had heard that the reason why now... I just heard in the episode of Chuck Dixon at Chuck's podcast, like, they had Electrocutioner there. Why couldn't he pop up in Chuck Dixon's book? The reason was because... Well, apparently in the 70s, according to Dixon, apparently Wolfman was one of those writers DC gave him sweet deals where, like for certain characters, they're the only people who could write these characters and nobody else. So he was forbidden to use that character, and then of course he created his own. At one point in the issues for Vigilante, he actually has sex with his first woman since his wife died. And his kids. Yeah, at one point he does. And then doesn't go anywhere. And she's like, "Oh, you're like very loyal." Yeah, we also has one of these villains called the Controller. Yeah, he was actually one of his first recurring villains, and he dies issue 11. In case you're curious, did Vigilante kill him? I believe he did. Yeah, and I believe, Marcy was the one who actually slept with Vigilante, but only once. She debuted issue 5, and well, she's here basically as a recurring character a lot of this book. I think after issue 5, I think she only misses like let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 12. She only misses 13 issues, which is not bad, but she is, you can have consider her as a regular character. So he also deals with many years, like his whole thing is that he goes after criminals who get off, who basically gets off because of a screwed up technicality, which all of his points to the fact that this person definitely is the murderer, but because of a screw up in the system, Adrian Chase puts on the suit to kill a person. That's what he does. He's not like the Punisher, randomly who just kills a whole bunch of gangsters, massacre style. He's a bit more like very calculating. And sometimes he sees in his little vehicle he has where he's thinking it is Vigilante suit, but without his mask on. That's kind of the premise of this book. But it's a good start for the book per se. Yes. Aside from the fact that the main trait ends issue 11, I still continued to read even afterwards for a few extra issues. Because I initially thought it ended I thought it ended at issue number 12. Not 12, 11. But still interesting. You have Gil Kane doing the artwork here, which is awesome. It's more regular stuff with him. But at least I have a kind of reason why. So they also kill off these two people here called Mr. Hammer and Carl Hammett. Yeah, these two random guys here. And there kind of is the reason why, I did continue for a little bit. This should be like, when I come back to the book, it will be quite interesting to discuss these issues because the book goes through changes. Yes. Because there are 2 issues in here of these early issues not done by Marv Wolfman. I will be discussing that in the future. Don't worry about that. Okay, so there is more issue to this book. I thought it was like one issue. And that was basically um, the time for. Actually, I don't think any issues of this book were collected. And I found, oh yeah, there is book collected. It's well, there's a couple issues of this book that were done by Alan Moore. That's a trade. Yes, but not all of it. I kind of wish it is because it's just a really good book. Yep. So yeah, that's it. Particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do the dislike button. Next up we have is basically another comic corner, and I'll take a break. Okay, thanks you. Bye.